Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to the Jungle Show here on Auburn Daily's YouTube and Twitch live stream and Facebook page. We are here to discuss all things that have happened in the for Auburn in the NBA. It's been a crazy last week after the draft for all Auburn guys in the NBA. Some movement. We got some jersey numbers. We got Summer League to look forward to. We're going to talk all about that and more here next on the Jungle Show. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Jungle Show on Auburn Daily. We are here to talk about, I'm Gray Oldenburg. We are here to talk about Auburn and the NBA, all the Auburn guys in the NBA getting ready for the Summer League, the rookies, Jabari Smith and Walker Kessler. The big trade that went down just a few hours ago to send Walker Kessler to his third team now in 8 days after being drafted. Big day for Auburn and the NBA. And it just helps Auburn men's basketball and the program to have these guys in that situation and in the NBA like this. And to do that, I brought in my dad and co-host, Mr. Chris Oldenburg, but he is not on the camera due to him being in a car accident.
Minor car accident. Don't want to scare you people.
That's right. He is okay. He's fine. The car is not, but he's okay. But he's sitting right across from me. So,
yep.
But he wanted to join on this conversation, especially right after
big news.
After the huge news, and we'll just start off just like that. Walker Kessler is now on his third team in 8 days after joining the NBA after being drafted. He was drafted by the Grizzlies. He put on the Grizzlies hat on draft day.
Yep.
Was immediately traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves right after he was picked, was introduced in Minnesota, and now he's a part of the huge trade that sent Rudy Gobert from the Utah Jazz to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for
a lot.
Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley, Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, another guy, which I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I will butcher it, and like 4 first-round picks. Minnesota going all in on this, moving Karl-Anthony Towns back to the power forward position and getting Rudy Gobert, and they give up
because Rudy Gobert is a really good defender, but is he worth 4 first-round picks? And other players, I don't know. I don't see how you don't look at this and go, "Wow, Utah, you just basically robbed Minnesota."
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, if Gobert goes up there and he and Cat and Anthony Edwards put a championship on the board, then the trade may have been a good idea.
Absolutely, yeah.
Looking at it right now, I'm like, that's too much to give up.
Yeah, I agree. And look, so getting away from the Minnesota Timberwolves because we don't like them anymore. Here on this show, just like we do not.
I just followed them on Twitter.
Yep. We do not appreciate the Magic now. We do not appreciate the Timberwolves, and so with this trade that sends a Walker and a bunch of other assets to Utah trying to build around their all-star guard Donovan Mitchell. What is Walker's role going to be like, especially in his rookie season, which we thought, in his rookie season, he was going to be sitting behind Karl-Anthony Towns in Minnesota. Now he's got a chance to go and compete with a starting job for the Utah Jazz.
So they've got what's his name, the plays center athlete, blocked a lot of shots in Miami. Whiteside.
Yeah.
They've got Whiteside there, who's a good player. Are they Are we sure Walker's going to be on the Utah Jazz at the end of the week?
No clue.
I mean, after the 4th of July, is he still going to be there?
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe they got him and
It's July 1st now.
because they've got assets now.
They
Like
do.
you said, they've got first round picks. They've got Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
They've got the bug that gets under everybody's skin, Patrick Beverly.
Yeah.
So they've got some assets that they could afford to move and maybe try to get another big time player. I like the fit of Walker there because, like you said, there's one other center on the team. It's Whiteside.
Yeah.
Whiteside's a good player, been in the league a long time.
I think Walker has a better chance of getting playing time, getting consistent playing time, and maybe a shot at the starting job against Whiteside rather than against Karl-Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert at Minnesota. When I saw the tweet come up, and it was about 5 hours ago that the trade was made, that Woj dropped the bomb that Rudy Gobert is going to the Timberwolves, I was like, you're absolutely kidding. That puts Kessler third in the center depth chart for the Timberwolves, not knowing that Walker was headed
being traded.
Yeah.
I also like the fact of him doing pick and rolls with their point guard, with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I like the pick and roll with him and Walker Kessler.
Conley. Yeah.
Conley's another guy, a veteran guy that can really teach Walker a lot of stuff about the NBA and seems to be the type of guy that is willing to do that for young players.
Yeah.
I like Conley. I've always liked Conley.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get too vested in the Utah Jazz yet because they've got a lot of assets and it's still a frenzy in the NBA.
It is. We talk about how what the craziness has ensued in the NBA, especially since draft night is really when it started. But the free agency, the signings, all the money that is being given out, and these trades and people requesting trades from their team. This isn't an NBA show, an NBA podcast, but we could go on and on talking about, okay, how does this affect this Auburn player? And this one straight up completely changed his team.
Yeah.
Side of the country.
Yeah. He went from what looked like he was happy to go to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Had some connections there through his grandfather played up there.
Yeah.
Was going to wear his grandfather's number 31. Mm-hmm. And there were stories being written about that. And that's why I'm not trying to get too invested in the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Never been a big Utah Jazz fan. So it's a little hard for me to go, am I going to be a Jazz fan? I don't know that he'll still be there in a couple of days. We may have to do an emergency pod Tuesday and say, guess what? Walker's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I think Jabari will still be with the Houston Rockets, though, by the way.
I agree. Before we move on to talk a little bit more about Jabari and the other Auburn guys in the NBA, I saw this tweet from All Auburn, who's a really good account for Auburn sports, but particularly Auburn basketball. He said, Walker Kessler has been on more NBA teams than Michael Jordan. He got drafted 8 days ago, which is true. He's been on 3. Jordan was on 2. He's been on more than double than Kobe Bryant.
That is crazy.
Actually, Bryant was on the Hornets first, and then he was traded to the Lakers.
It is one of those things that you just go, okay, free agency is going to happen, but our guys just got drafted, so they're probably going to be where they are.
Yeah.
Maybe Jared Harper gets moved, or maybe Thor gets moved, or something like that. You don't expect the guy that just got drafted 8 days ago to hit his third team without playing an NBA game. He's not stepped on an NBA court yet.
That's right.
As a player.
Yeah.
So that's entertaining. We'll see how it goes.
That's right. All right, so moving on to talking about Jabari. So the Rockets tweeted out, let's see, I want to know what time they tweeted this out, 7 hours ago from when we were going live here, about 8:15. It would be about 8 hours ago. They tweeted out the picture of their 3 rookies that they had drafted in the first round this past year and their numbered uniforms. And look, I love it. I love it. Jabari Smith in the middle, wearing number 1.
Number 1.
Tracy McGrady's number for the Rock. He looks just like Tracy McGrady in the picture.
Can we stop with the Tracy? I love Jabari Smith. Jabari is a better shooter than McGrady ever thought about being.
Tracy's a really good
Tracy
shooter.
was an athlete. There are not a lot of guys that could do what Tracy McGrady could do with his body.
Very true.
So, but it does kind of look like it with the #1 Rockets jersey. That's pretty cool.
Standing right beside him to the left of Jabari, to the left of Jabari, if you're looking at the picture, is Tari Eason, wearing number 17 from LSU. And then to the right is Ty Washington, their other first-round pick, wearing number 0.
Interesting. That's the number of losses they take when he's healthy.
Oh.
That's why they drafted him, right? So that they can be like Kentucky and say, "Wow, he wasn't healthy, so we didn't lose."
We're not going to lose. They're going to go 82 now, as long as Ty is not playing.
Yep.
So let's get into the summer league. The summer league, if you do not know, is a place where a time in the league. Yeah, 3 different places. A time in the league in the summer where younger players and G League players and rookies can compete on an NBA level, being coached by NBA assistants and that sort of thing. Just in one location. It's really not. It's just a tournament. It's not that deep. There's no huge prize for winning at all. There's no compensation for you playing in the summer league rather than not playing in the summer league. This is why you don't see a lot of veterans playing in it. You don't see a lot of older guys. You don't see a lot of guys that have proven themselves to be the franchise star, or a starter on the real in the real deal when the lights come on. But it's a fun way for guys. I'm not really talking about Jabari or Walker to show. I mean, this can be fun for them to play. But it's a great way for guys like Jared Harper, JT Thorne, Sharif Cooper
to get out there
to play basketball in front of in front of bigger crowds, in front of on TV, and in front of these NBA coaches.
Cooper played really well in his summer league
last year.
He got hurt, I think, or didn't play. He played the first game, and it was like, man, he was what we knew him to be.
That's right.
But then he didn't play a lot after that. But Summer League actually starts tomorrow.
That's right.
In California Classic, and the California Classic has 4 teams. They'll play over 2 days, just kind of round robin games. Lakers play Miami tomorrow, and Sacramento plays Golden State. And then on Sunday, they flip-flop, and Miami and Sacramento play, and the Lakers and Golden State play. Golden State's got a good yes, they won the championship. None of those guys are playing.
Yeah.
They're playing guys, though, that they've got some good young talent on that team, and those are the guys you'll get to see play. Again, it's fun to see guys that you don't get to see very often.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And that's exactly what it's like for every single team that will be playing in the Summer League. You get to see the G League guys. You get to see rookies. You get to see undrafted guys who want to prove themselves and to get looks and maybe get a contract. But yeah, just like you said, the California Classic starts tomorrow, goes to the 5th. Then you go to Utah for one of the other ones. And some of them have, only some teams. Obviously the California Classic only has 2 teams, but
4 teams.
Four teams. That's right. But the Las Vegas one, which goes from the 7th to the 17th, has every team in the NBA going there. And they all just play in multiple different gyms in Los Angeles. It's a cool deal. And you get to see a lot of Auburn guys. You will get to see at least, 5 Auburn guys?
Yeah, so our first chance to see an Auburn guy is July 5th. Tuesday night, Oklahoma City plays Utah in the Salt Lake City Summer Classic. I imagine you'll see Walker Kessler in a uniform that night.
Yeah.
And then they play Memphis. But the game, I think, since Jabari fell from 1 to 3, and we're angry at Orlando for skipping over Jabari, I think the game everybody's looking forward to the most happens Thursday night at 7:00.
At 7:00 Central Time, yes.
And Houston plays Orlando
at 9:00 Central Time.
Oh, 9:00 Central Time. That's a late one.
It's a late game on ESPN.
But that's Houston or Orlando. That's Jabari against Paolo Banchero.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch that one.
See, and this is the whole thing with the summer league. You get these type of matchups where it's just like, okay, that's something I want to watch. That's must watch TV. That's not a real NBA game. That's going to have nothing to do with that team's record at the end of the day. But that's something that'll be fun to watch, and you get to see like that. You get to see guys like that all the time in this league, especially when you have generational type of talents coming out of the draft. You see guys like. I mean, I'm not saying he's been very successful in the league in terms of playing and in terms of stats, but when Zion came out of Duke and was drafted by the Pelicans, that first summer game, he went for like 30 points and 11 rebounds, and that crowd was just on the edge of their seats, just wanting to see him play. And then that's what the summer league is all about. But just like you said, we're going to be able to see Walker and Jabari.
First chance we get to see JT is Friday night, the 8th.
JT Thor
they play against Indiana.
Yep. The Hornets, yep.
And then we've got
Jared Harper playing for the Pelicans.
Jared Harper plays for the Pelicans, and they play later on. Let me see. New Orleans plays on Monday the 11th. No, they play the 9th.
Okay.
They play Saturday the 9th against Portland. And then Atlanta, Jared, and we think Sharif's going to play for the Hawks.
I think Sharif is going to play, yes.
On the 11th, those two teams go against each other,
So
New Orleans and Atlanta,
Jared
maybe
Harper.
A chance.
You'd see Jared Harper against Sharif Cooper if Sharif is playing for the Hawks. I do know 100% certain that JT is playing for the Charlotte Hornets and Jared is playing for the Pelicans as well. Walker playing for, I assume, the Jazz. If we get there, he's still on the Jazz. And
Jabari's already been. They've already sent out their list of players, and Jabari and Tyrese and Ty will be all playing. So
that team will be good too.
Again, looking forward to an opportunity to see Auburn guys playing in the NBA early in their careers in summer league, where they can kind of have some fun and kind of get used to the speed of the NBA.
Yeah, for sure.
And guys like Jabari, you're going to see play regularly at Houston.
For sure, he'll start.
Walker, we'll see where he goes. I'd like to see Jared get on with a team that he could help the big club because he tore up the G League for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And then and JT, Charlotte better than I do.
I do, yeah.
Is he?
I hope so.
I mean, is he going to play, you think?
Yeah, JT will play for the Hornets in the summer league. He played a lot for the Greensboro Swarm, which is the G League affiliate.
It did really well for them too, didn't he?
Had games where he went for 37 and 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
he needs to cut.
Where was that?
They need to bring him up to the club, let him play, or trade him.
Well, might as well. Anybody to help LaMelo Ball.
Team's going to struggle.
Yeah. But we'll wrap everything up. I know we wanted to do Wendell Green this week, but due to his accident and some computer issues that we were having, we decided to push that back until next week.
And then Walker got traded.
So we had great information to talk about anyway.
Lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, and what a crazy day in the NBA it was. And everything, every little thing, every signing, every trade, every little piece of news always affects every single team in the league. And I cannot wait for matchups. I cannot wait to see Jabari against certain players, when he's defending, what positions he defends. I want to see how Walker gets meshed in with guys like Conley and Donovan Mitchell if they stay on the Jazz, or who else comes on the Jazz. I'm interested to see if Sharif, JT, or Jared get opportunities with the big club. If not, what they can do for the Hawks affiliate, the Birmingham Squadron, which is the Pelicans affiliate, and the Greensboro Swarm, which is the Hornets affiliate with JT Thor. I'll be very interested. It's going to be a fun NBA season if you're an Auburn fan, but this is an Auburn podcast, and we'll be back next week to talk about none other than Auburn sophomore returning point guard Wendell Green.
We're really excited about talking about Wendell and reading your article when it comes out next week. But and believe me, all this NBA talk, Bruce Pearl loves all this NBA talk because
he could talk about these guys.
He is getting ready to go out on the recruiting trail. We were talking about it earlier. We looked at several of the recruits that we are in the top 2 or 3, 4 that are nationally ranked very high.
Yeah, I think we were the leader for the number 2 shooting guard We are in the top 3 for the number 6 point guard. This is in the country, not in the state, not in the region. This is in the country.
Big time.
We're
Big time guy.
We're
Number 2 for the center. Number 1 center.
No, we're number 2 right now. What is thought? For the number 1 center and in the mix for the number 1 small forward. That's ridiculous.
All this NBA talk helps him get that going.
Yeah.
And the more he can do that, the more it gets people to the NBA, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and they just keep going.
Yeah.
So Bruce is doing a great job. I hope people have looked at the video that came out about showing him at practice with Wendell dropping a 3 and then KD getting a steal.
You gotta go watch that video. It's on Auburn men's basketball's TikTok. It's on Auburn men's basketball's Instagram and Twitter. If you have not seen that video, you can watch it on loop for 30 or 40 straight hours.
Oh yeah,
it's really
good
stuff. It's great. Wendell goes off a Carball screen, drills a step back 3, and then him and Chance Westry join in a celebration, whatever they want to call it, whatever they wanted to call that.
Yeah.
And then on a defensive play, Donaldson tries to throw a cross-court pass. It gets tipped, and it's a loose ball, and KD Johnson ends up from the bottom of the basket to the other side of the court, basically on the floor, and his teammates mob him, and he screams. Oh, if you've got to watch that.
It's Auburn basketball at its finest.
That's right.
It really is.
Especially this upcoming year, which is going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Very exciting. Well, we will go ahead and get out of here. And just like I said, next week we'll talk about Wendell. If you want to find him on Twitter, you can find him at War Eagle Hoops, or you can find me at Gray Oldenburg right there. You're going to find all the great stuff on auburndaily.com. You can go to SI_Auburn on Twitter. And until next time.